damage your bike on the way out. It's always helpful, isn't it? I see the sun visor is going to start playing up again today. Oh boy, I love it. So, while I'm here, I want to go this way. And the reason for this is because of this Land Rover over here. Now, I don't know this person, and that's fine. I don't know who they are, what they do, why they drive it, their financial situation, all that sort of stuff. Fine, you own what you want to own, you drive what you want to drive, and that is entirely your prerogative. However, when it comes to how you drive or how you ride, that's when I start asking questions, because as a motorcycle rider, my safety is my priority. And because my safety is my priority, I take additional steps to be extra aware when I travel on the roads with my jelly bean. Hey, I should put my indicator on actually. Hey! So I don't know how things are for you guys in the States. Hello, hello. But over here in the UK, not all of us are in a position to buy a very large vehicle, because holy crap, the fuel is expensive. Not all of us can buy a large vehicle because holy crap, insurance is expensive. And so we have a multitude of issues, additional financial issues that make not just owning one but running one extremely difficult. Now, I say this, I know not everyone in the US has a massive vehicle. Current times, a little bit of a damper on that, of course, but with all things considered, when I was in the US, there were a lot of big vehicles. We would see like big car, big car, big car. You know, everything's just larger over there. Oof. Bless you for it, but it's intimidating as all heck when you see those kind of larger vehicles on the roads over here, because we don't have road systems built for that. Your large pickups and your Megatron 18-wheeler, 18-wheeler behemoths, which are a wonderful bit of art and engineering, but I'm going somewhere with this. So anyway, what I found when riding around the UK the last 3 years on Jelly Bean here, doesn't matter if I'm in my town, if I'm out my town, wherever I go, larger vehicles like this one here, the most issues I have with other road users is either Prius drivers, bloody Prius drivers, or these large vehicles. And because of that, I'm always extra wary. Now, I have said before that any Land Rover is an instant red flag for me. I don't want to be near it, I don't want to interact with it, anything. It's not to say all Land Rovers owners, drivers can't drive, but it's also me being very wary of the fact that a lot of them actually can't drive. So when I come across these sort of larger vehicles, I always am extra aware, and it's incredibly difficult being a motorcycle rider. I know, take pity on me, when I have to keep my eyes open, even when you're on one of those days where you just can't be bothered, whatever. No, I'm on a motorcycle, my safety comes first. I have to be awake for this, I have to be on the ball. And what I'm trying to get at is the amount of times I've seen these large vehicles switch lanes without indication, switch lanes with indication, then come back into the lane they were just in with no warning or anything. They just wiggle all over the damn road. You've got those who force themselves into a queue of traffic because they've got a larger car. They have an advantage over other traffic at intersections and roundabouts because they're taller. So if I was to come up by the side of that Kia at a roundabout, I won't be able to see past them unless the roundabout is angled in such a way where I can. and you should never use another vehicle for cover when pulling out. It's not like I have anything against them being on the road, it's just I would appreciate if vehicles over a certain tonnage, yeah, you know, I would like to see additional like driver training for these people, like have it mandatory. And I know it sounds like a stupid thing, but bear with me a sec, because not only are you in charge of a much larger vehicle, you have to take responsibility for what that vehicle hits. Now, I don't know about you, but when a very large object hits a smaller one, not necessarily a motorcycle, but say this little BMW here, there's going to be a significant impact there, isn't there? There's going to be a big old shunt and a little bit of an argument afterwards, depending on the speed of the collision, of course. And basically what I'm saying is take responsibility for your damn vehicle. If your vehicle's massive, then you need to have the knowledge and control to keep that thing on the damn road, because if you don't and that plows into something or someone, that's going to hurt more than if you was just driving a normal car. You'd be surprised, like the amount of times, like I've said, that you see these things switching lanes, they swerve, force their way into traffic. I was going down a dual carriageway, and considering like the speed limit that I want to do on a dual carriageway would be about 70. If you want to push 75, 80 to overtake someone, then fine, that's only to overtake. So considering that I was on a dual carriageway at a time, coming home, there's a line of like lorries and a few cars to the left of me, all doing about 50 miles an hour or so, because that's the queue of traffic, that's how fast they're going. And then me in the right hand lane, overtaking them at 70 mile an hour. There was a large Porsche that came up behind me. I thought, okay, yeah, sure. Now this Porsche, it was the type that gets right up your arse. I mean right up your arse. Like I could barely see any other part of the vehicle apart from the bonnet and the driver in my rear view mirrors. And these are not small mirrors, alright? So I should see more of that vehicle because they shouldn't be that close. So when I look behind me, I gauge, yeah, he's maybe 2 meters behind me, 3 meters behind me. Sounds like a fair gap, doesn't it? When you're doing 70 miles an hour, suddenly that's not a big gap. Now, what I should have done, and I admit this, is moved into the left-hand lane and let him go. However, my point being, I'm following the flow of traffic. I can only go as fast as the person in front of me who's doing 70 mile an hour. Can you see what's happening here? If I move into that left-hand lane, that vehicle is then going to be up someone else's arse. Fine, then it's not your problem. I saw this guy flash his lights at me and then wave his hand at me in my rearview mirror, and I thought, alright, so you're so desperate to get past me, now you're trying to actively run me out of my lane. I thought, you know what, fuck you and your privileged position in this very posh car. And he was actually going like he was going 2 roundabouts up to turn off into a rather posh dealership, let's say. I don't want to judge the guy and his missus or whatever she was sat in the passenger seat there, but when you drive aggressively and you're actively trying to run people, push people out the way on the road, that's the point where I stop caring about you. Suddenly I'm not going to be willing to help you. I continued and I signalled to him, there's a vehicle in front of me, what do you want me to do? I shrugged my shoulders and said, what do you want me to do? And he threw his hand up like that. You know when you can see someone's like physically pissed off and they throw their hand up? He did that. I was like, okay, yeah, fine, get mad at me, whatever, because you're stuck there. If I move out the way, you're only going to be stuck in front of the vehicle in front of me, and then you're going to have exactly the same problem. You're turning off in 2 roundabouts. Chill, relax, it's not that bad. Yeah, places like this, yeah, what a waste of money. It's a bit harsh, isn't it, Red? Yeah, I know. And I know in my position, like I'm thinking about what I'm saying critically. It's like, well, regardless of what you say and how you defend it, you should have moved out the way. Yes, absolutely, I agree. However, now you see there's a line there and you have stopped, but your rear wheels are on it. Anytime you're ready, there you go. See what I mean? I can't make this stuff up, can I? I cannot make this stuff up. And that's just like not paying attention to the road. Who knows what their reason is for having their rear tyres on that line, because they should have stopped way before that. I'm fully well aware that what I'm saying sounds hypocritical, probably is hypocritical, and I want to be critical in the way that I explain my situation and how I defend myself in this, but I believe my point still stands. Like, this individual is a road traffic hazard. They are an accident, excuse me, waiting to happen. I maintain my defence that people like this shouldn't be on the road if they're in that kind of mood, that situation. And when you own a larger vehicle like that, you should damn well take responsibility for it. Chill out. You are not the only person driving on the road. If you have that sense of entitlement over other road vehicle users, be it, oh, I can go faster than you, move out the way. No, you can't. There's a vehicle in front of me and they're doing 70 miles an hour. So shut your face and sit down. I'm going to turn off down here. Boop, boop, boop. Unfortunately, this isn't where I wanted to turn off, but hey, it will do. I'll just park up here and end the video, because it's actually quite a nice little area, this. There's a lovely smell of burning in the air as well. I like that. I really like that. Oop. Whoa. Going forward, I probably won't do it again, because that was dangerous. And now I've learned from that experience, I won't be doing that again. Probably. But yeah, just keep an eye out for all road users. Not necessarily the larger ones, but for all road users.